Hi there, welcome. I put this video together to help you make the most of my online lessons and workshops. First of all, pat yourself on the back for showing up. I know it's not easy to take time out for yourself. I know this personally. Deciding to invest in your art education is a gift you give to yourself and all of those around you. I firmly believe in the power of art to have a positive influence. I've been teaching now for over 25 years and painting for almost 50, so I've learned a thing or two along the way. I think that I have a bit of a pact with my students, whether online or in person. You show up with your most innocent eyes and an open heart, and you immerse yourself in this work. You give yourself permission to do it badly, and I know this is hard, but possibly the most important thing that I can share with you. You do what I tell you. You paid me to do this. And in return, I won't hold anything back. No secrets, no baloney. Look, making art is messy. There's no straight line. I can only point you to the moon. You have to launch your own rocket ship. I'll give you the foundation and some inspiration, but you have to take it from there. Let's talk a moment about talent. I think anyone can learn to paint and draw. If you do something a lot and get a little encouragement, you can make progress. It's more about persistence and motivation than talent. Mileage is more powerful than talent. But we have to overcome our resistance. I had an instructor, Mr. Souza, who always talked about the 3 Ps. Perfection leads to procrastination, leads to paralysis. It's hard to show up at the blank page. I'd really rather clean my kitchen floor because it's certain. But it turns out that certainty is not the artist's friend. I think about art and instruction this way. It's kind of a triangle. There's the science, there's the chemistry, the biology, the archival properties, and so on one side of the triangle that we have to pay attention to. And then down here at the other side of the bottom of the triangle is the craft. Things that I can teach you: color, composition, perspective. Now, up at the top of the triangle is that other something, the art, the poetry, that little something that Emerson said swims together, the swimming and glittering stuff. That's what draws me in over and over again. That's what gets me to the easel. But how do we do that? We have to get there often. So that's where the mileage comes in. You also have to do some uncomfortable things. If you always do what you always do, you always get what you always get. Don't whine and don't worry. If you need help desperately, just ask for it. Do take responsibility to get what you came for. I can't read your mind, especially since we don't see one another face to face. Don't be judgmental or use negative self-talk. Give yourself a break and room to let the new stuff in. This means giving the old some time to sift out. You'll be sorting through a lot of new information. Some will be useful and some not. It takes time for you to incorporate new things and gain proficiency. You have to learn to filter the assignments through the lens of your own experience. Set an intention for each lesson, something specific, such as I'm going to concentrate on mark making. Often the lessons will help you to do this, but I think it's a good idea to have a very personal intention for each lesson as well. Let's talk about materials now. Let's talk about student grade versus studio or professional grade materials. Student grade materials are often cheaper because they contain less pigment density or fewer archival qualities. So they don't last as long or give you the best results. So if you can, buy better materials and just buy less or fewer. Do you need to have exactly what I have? No, you don't. You can make do with what you have. Your work, your pieces are not going to be exactly like mine. Would you want them to be? Not really. How should you approach the lessons themselves? Okay, don't skip the study materials. They're there for a reason. Doing the lessons. Okay, you can do it a couple of ways. You can follow along in real time. You can do your own version without watching. Be sure to do the independent assignments. Okay, let's talk about copying. Why copy? It's a time-honored way to learn, which has been done throughout art history. It can nudge you towards work that you admire. You'll be nudged to speed up and to do it differently. What can you do with the finished copies? How do you think about the results? Can you sell it? The short answer is no. It's not a good idea, as I have lots of students that are doing the same lessons, and you wouldn't want to get into a sticky situation with a piece with a gallery, another student, or a buyer. Can you enter it into a Pastel Society show? No, you shouldn't. It's just not fair. Can you give it away? Yes, sure you can. Can you sign it? Of course. You may want to write something on the back, such as after Marla Baguetta, but that's really up to you. Should you acknowledge that you did it as a lesson if you share it on your own Facebook page or in a Facebook group? Well, of course, that would be nice because it helps me. It's best to learn from each lesson and begin to develop your own pieces from your own references. You'll be able to take full ownership and you'll be really proud of yourself. Okay, let's talk about the Facebook groups. Points to remember. For some of you, I don't need to say this, but the Facebook groups are not my website. It's something extra for you to interact with other like-minded students who are also doing the courses. Read the group guidelines before posting. Please, please don't post questions about the functionality of the website or login questions on the group page. Contact support at paintinglessonswithmarla.com for those questions. Okay. Don't be disappointed if I don't comment on your work. I see almost everything, but sometimes pieces get pushed to the bottom of the feed, especially if there are lots of comments. I can't comment on everything, but I try to see everything and make as many comments as I possibly can. If you need some specific advice and you really need to ask me a direct question, you can. The best way to do this is to submit a support ticket rather than on Facebook. This way I'll be sure to see it and get back to you promptly. Make sure to visit the page with the mini lessons. There's a trove of information there, some video that will answer many of the frequently asked questions. You can search on this page. Many of you are probably already signed up for these, but if you're not, be sure to sign up. I also have a blog that you can sign up to receive. I really want you to succeed and have a wonderful experience online. Make sure you get what you came for. When you're finished, please stay in touch. You can stay connected on the Facebook group after you've completed a workshop or the lessons. You've made friends and you're part of the family. Okay, I hope all of this has helped. Let's get painting.